runs in the game. All right, so let us get to it and find out how Babe did. This one excites me because Wrigley Field, iconic ballpark, and of course, Cubs fan Steve, always a big Cubs fan. And I want to see Babe break his personal record. He hasn't done it in any ballpark yet. This, I think, is his best opportunity so far. Thought he might do it in Boston, but nope. We'll try Chicago. So, as I always do, I like to play out the very first game in his new city, new environment, the Chicago Cubs. Let's see if they play today. Chicago. There we go. They are at home to the Milwaukee Brewers. All right. Debut game for Babe Ruth. All right, Babe Ruth, his teammates in Chicago, Dansby Swanson leading off. Ian Happ will hit second. Eric Hosmer in the cleanup role. Trey Mancini, Cody Bellinger, Patrick Wisdom, Nico, and then Jan. And pitching for the Cubs today, future legend Hayden Wesneski will be pitching for your Chicago Cubs. So let's start the game. What do you guys think? Do the Chicago Cubs make the playoffs? Do they go far in the playoffs? How do you think that Babe will do in this type of environment with these teammates? Put it in the chat. Come on, let's get some chat activity going for how you think Babe will do in this game. Anyone going to call a home run? What do you think? Is he going to make this team a championship? Let's switch the logo at the top. There we go. All right, we're going to go to the bottom of the first inning. So Babe will get his first at bat coming up soon. Leadoff hitter takes the ball low and outside. That is a walk. 1 on for Ian Happ. Happ smacks one, but not. Ooh, this park is a lot bigger than I thought. Those walls go far. Look at that ivy on those walls. Here we go. Babe Ruth, his first plate appearance with the Chicago Cubs. Brandon Woodruff, Babe Ruth. And that ball gets away. That is going to move the runner to second base. Swanson is now at second. Babe has a runner in scoring position. 1-2 pitch, and he swings and is out. First appearance as a Cub is a strikeout. All right, we are going to go to the third inning. Cubs have a 1-0 lead. And he will get another plate appearance in the third inning. Leadoff hitter, Dansby Swanson at the plate. He drives one to right field. That is going to go to the ivy. That hits the wall. He is rounding first, going to second, safe with a double. 1 walk and 1 double for Swanson. Ian Happ, number 2 hitter, grounds out. That will move the runner to third. Babe now has a runner in scoring position again. We have a 0-0 count. Babe swings away. Pop fly to right field. Will it be deep enough? Is the first RBI going to be scored? And it is not. Nothing going for Babe Ruth after 3 innings. Let's go to the 5th. In the bottom of the 5th, Yan Gomes at the plate. He drives one into center field. That is 1 away. Swanson at the plate. 1 for 1 on the day. He drives the ball. That gets by the first baseman. He is hot. A double, a single, a walk. Ian Happ back at the plate. He drives one into right field deep, but not deep enough. Right fielder has a beat on it and catches it for out number 2. Third time at the plate for Babe Ruth. He had a runner at second, a runner at third. He has a runner at first. Come on, Babe. Come on, Babe. Babe, 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 Babe. Here we go. We got the home run chant going. 1-1 count. He swings a deep fly ball to left field, but on the warning track, it is caught. He is warming up, folks. He is getting so close. 0 for 3, though, on the day for Babe Ruth. All right, let's head to the 8th inning. And let's check out Babe. We did miss one of his at-bats, but he did not. Nothing happened. He is 0 for 4 on the day. Let's take a quick look how Babe did in the 7th inning. Babe Ruth grounded out. Not looking too good. Don't know if he'll get up again. The Milwaukee Brewers have a 4-2 lead. As we go to top of 9, it is 4-3, and bottom of the 9th, top of the order up. So Babe will get one more chance to possibly tie or win this game. Swanson at the plate, this time a weak grounder to shortstop. Easy play, one away. Ian Happ hitting 200 on the season, and he takes a walk. Well. We have it lined up for a wonderful possible situation. Ian Happ on first, one away. A 4-3 game for the Brewers in the bottom of the 9th inning. Babe Ruth at the plate. He's 0 for 4. But Babe is saying, I don't care about earlier on in the game. Doesn't matter. I was born for this moment. My debut with the Cubs at home with a possible chance at a walk-off. All right, here we go. Will the game winner go to Babe? All right, Cubs fan Steve, give it all your best vibes here. Let's find out. We've got Devin Williams in the game looking to close it out. Here comes the pitch. 1-2 count. And Babe takes it looking. Babe. All right, too much home cooking for Babe apparently at home. So we got Eric Hosmer in the cleanup role. Chance to tie it or win it. Here comes the pitch, a 3-1 count. And that is a little squibber, and he's safe. The Cubs are still alive. Trey Mancini, the DH, hitting 286 on the season, has an RBI already early in the season. What can he do? 2 away. Williams, Mancini, 1-1 count. He drives one into center field, but it hangs up there, and that will do it. The Chicago Cubs will lose the debut of Babe Ruth 4-3. Woodruff takes the win. Rucker blows a save. The Cubs did have a lead late in the game before they gave up 3 in the top of the 8th. Babe Ruth's stat line, 0 for 5, 2 strikeouts, 5 left on base. Babe, you got some explaining to do. You absolutely do. All right, we are going to sim ahead to the end of the month here. Let's sim ahead to the end of April. Again, for those of you that don't play franchise play, you're all perfect team. When you sim a large portion of the season out, you'll see the stat lines on the left for the AL, for the NL on the right. And of course, as the games sim out, you'll see the updated standings. These are the 2023 opening day rosters. So any player that got injured in week 2 or week 3 of the season, they're not injured in the game yet. These are the opening day rosters. And yeah, Ezra has noticed that if you look in the NL, Babe Ruth is not the home run leader. Patrick Wisdom, the Cubs do have the home run leader. It's just not Babe Ruth. All right, here we are after a month of play. Let's go check out these standings. We've got in the NL Central, the Chicago Cubs are above 500. They're 15 and 13. If we look at the wild card, they are in a wild card position after the first month of play. So we will take that. Cubs fans, we will take that small victory. Babe, how are you doing? 255. He is having a slow start to the season. If we look at his game log here, no multiple home run games. Yes, he does have one against the Cincinnati Reds. He went 2 for 3 with 2 home runs. Other than that, he has been cold. Only 2 hits in his last 6 games. 417 OBP, 532 slugging percentage. And if we look at the overall leaderboard here, let's check out the combined. Do we see any glorious Babe pitchers? I don't think so. Nope. Not at the top of any of the leaderboards. Usually he's at the bottom here. The WPA, the OPS plus, WOBA, but not yet. True enough. If the game is realistic, April is a cold month in Chicago. Good point there. Good point. And as D. Dempsey says, we all know that in the first month it's a pitcher's park. So it's just realism in the game. In the stats that we care about, 24 hits, 17 runs. That's pretty good. 17 runs in 26 games, 7 home runs, and 18 RBIs. So he's contributing. 1.2 WAR. Excellent for Babe. All right, we are going to sim up to the end of, where are we on? April, May. Let's see if we start to see Babe Ruth pop up on the right side of the scoreboard there. There he is. He's second now in on base plus slugging, second in batter WAR. Mookie Betts leads the NL in home runs. Now he is tied for the home run lead. Jordan Walker. Jeff McNeil has the batting average, 355. Jonathan Daza, 360. See a few Colorado Rockies up there. And Babe Ruth is at the top of WAR and on base plus slugging. All right, looks like he had a better May. The wind has been blowing in all month. Yeah, April, not a good month. The standings wise, the Chicago Cubs are at the top of the NL Central. 32 and 24. As we take a moment to appreciate that. Babe is currently hitting 311. So he went from the 250s, 255 to 311 in 1 month. He is heating up, folks. Let's look at his game log. Yeah, a few more home runs. Definitely a lot more hits. Look at that. His hit total going up, a few doubles. Home runs still a little bit low. So hitting 355 or 311, he's got a 595 slugging percentage, over 1 OPS, 3.3 WAR, and 15 home runs, 39 RBIs. So after 2 months, he's projected to hit 43. Definitely not what we would expect out of Babe, but I think that number is going to go up. I think the next one we're going to be projected in the high 40s. Things are getting nicer in Chicago. Let's look at the overall leaderboard here. What do we got? There we go. Look at that. We've got Babe showing up now. OBP, OPS, WAR, OPS Plus, and WOBA. Brad Miller leading the league in home runs with 19. Who would have bet on that? 33-year-old Brad Miller with the Texas Rangers. 33 dingers. Wow. Go buy your Brad Miller rookie card now. I'm not even familiar with this guy. What's his real life stats? Oh, it doesn't show it here. Batting. Seattle, Tampa, Cleveland. He's been all over. This is a Johnny Cash player. I've been everywhere, man, is something Brad Miller can sing. 19 home runs. We'll see if that stands up. Yeah, that's absolutely what we could say with Brad, right? We could look at his batting stats. I've been to Seattle, Tampa, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Cleveland, St. Louis, Texas. I've been everywhere. Oh boy, except Toronto. He hasn't been up to Canada yet. Okay, we are going to sim and see if Babe Ruth can make the All-Star game. That's our next stop point here. So we're going to sim up to that. And while that is chugging away, let's go and share some baseball history, shall we? Let's talk about this day in baseball. Well, let's go back way before my time, way before Ezra's time. Let's go back to the 1800s. On this day in 1892, did you know that the first president to attend a baseball game, Major League Baseball game, was Benjamin Harrison back in 1892? And at that game, the Cincinnati Reds, or actually, yeah, Cincinnati defeated the Senators. I don't know if they were the Reds or what they were called back then. Red Legs, Red Stockings. They beat the Senators in 11 innings. So, first appearance of a president at a Major League Baseball game. On this day in 1921, kind of a big year for Babe Ruth. And here you go. Synchronicity. Babe Ruth becomes the 20th century home run leader on this day. So he surpassed all the other players that played in the 1800s and early 1900s. He would become the home run leader on this day 102 years ago. Wow, 102 years ago. Also, 102 years ago, Bill Gatewood would pitch the first no-hitter in the history of the Negro National League. Way to go, Bill. Do we have any Bill Gatewood? I don't know if he's part of the Negro League Series 1 cards. If he's not, hopefully he'll be in the second series because that's quite the accomplishment. First no-hitter 102 years ago today. On this day, on June the 6th, 1937, so that's what, 63, 80, 86 years ago? Woody English, remember this guy from Perfect Team? Woody English wins a suit. Baseball players back then often had opportunities. If the home run ball hit a certain sign or placement in the park or out of the park, they would win something from that sponsorship. And apparently, the Abe Stark Clothing Company offered a suit to any baseball player that would hit the sign. And apparently, Woody English did that. I don't know if anyone knows who Abe Stark is. I don't know if they changed their name to a more reputable or well named clothing company, or if that was something just from the 30s. On this day, June 6, 1941, so what's that, 82 years ago, the New York Giants would become the first team to wear protective headgear using plastic helmets in a game against Pittsburgh. Pirates would win the doubleheader 5-4 and 4-3. And in the nightcap, Rip Sewell would get 11 assists, set the record of 11 assists for a pitcher. Could you? I mean, if I'm watching the game, it would have to be just what, like all hits to the pitcher, right? That's how you get the assist, or throwing someone out at second, or throwing someone out at home, I guess. So yeah, a lot of ground balls in play. So there you go, helmets. Players started to wear helmets. The Giants are the first team back in 1941. A few years later, in 1948, the first Negro League game is televised. So kind of a theme today. First time, look at those old TV cameras. Black and white, I'm sure. Way before color TVs. And on this day, I found this one interesting, kind of a political component here. On this day, 55 years ago, 55 years ago, I guess Robert F. Kennedy was assassinated the day before, and Maury Wills refused to play, I guess, for the Dodgers. 35-year-old Pirate shortstop at the time, but he played for the Dodgers before, would stay in the training room reading RFK's book, To Seek a New World. Wow, I did not know that moment in history. So must be overtaken with grief, probably a big fan of Robert F. Kennedy. And decided to sit the game out and read the book. Maury Wills. And an update from Cubs fan Steve. Thanks for doing this here. Stark became so well known because of that sign. Oh, wow. That he went through New York City politics, elected twice as president of the council. So I guess, Cubs fan Steve, that was a very, very effective advertising for him. Give away a few suits and rise up in the political world. All right, two more before we get back to see how Babe's doing at the All-Star break. Willie Mays, here's one for Ezra, 1971. So Ezra is playing his 1958. Ezra, where are you right now in the 1958 season? You passed the All-Star break there? Go check out Ezra after dark, because Willie Mays is playing on that 1958 team. In 1971, he would hit a 12th inning home run, which would be his last extra inning career home run. So the last time that Willie Mays would hit an extra inning home run on this day, what's that, 52 years ago? 52 years ago. Probably retired shortly after, I would think. So big tribute there to Willie Mays. Well, let's head back, and Babe better have made the All-Star game. Here we go. Let's go full screen. In the middle of July, we've got the Chicago Cubs still leading. They've got a half-game lead over Milwaukee, which, Cubs, if you would have won that first game that I showed, you'd have a 1.5-game lead. So it's only your own fault. If you lose by half a game or a game, You only have that first game that I showed to blame. How you doing, babe? That sounded wrong. How you doing, Mr. Ruth? Do not clip that and send that out to everyone. Mr. Ruth is hitting 301. He's got a 587 slugging, 4.2 WAR, still on pace for 43 home runs. So that didn't go up. He's only got 24 home runs right now. Oh, I know where you live. I know where you live down in Sarasota. I will comb the beaches of Sarasota and hunt you down and buy you a coffee. Let's check if, let's check the overall leaderboard here. Aaron Judge, being Aaron Judge, he now has the home run lead. Mookie Betts is second. Babe Ruth is not in the top 5. In fact, Babe, where have you gone? Only one Babe pitcher in the All-Star break, and that is Woba. Let's check whether he made the team. Of course, Aaron Judge and all these other Mookie Betts are probably going to beat him out, but Mookie Betts is in the AL. Weird because he plays for the AL White Sox and then the NL Cubs, so he's got different competition in the outfield. I think this is his better position in the NL. He's got a better chance of making it. No, Mookie Betts is the right fielder. Juan Soto, the left fielder. Michael Harris, center fielder, and Charlie Blackmon. Blackmon. I'll get it right. Charlie Blackmon beats out Babe Ruth. Come on, OOTP. Here he is, though. He is in the reserve, so we gotta check out his All-Star appearance. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. We will check in on our tournament a little bit later. We are at the All-Star break in 2023, where Babe Ruth has been selected to the All-Star game. We're going to go to the 7th inning and see if he's had any gameplay yet. Let's check out the NL. No, look at this. Who is the NL coach here? We're in the 7th inning, and he's got all his starters except for one playing. Whereas the AL, they're going, hey, it's the All-Star game. Everyone gets to play. But no. We can't have that in the NL. Where are we playing here? Minute Maid Park. All right, someone tell me where Minute Maid Park is. Where is that? Baltimore? Jeez, you can't even put Babe Ruth in. What is going on? All right, let's go to the 8th inning. Babe, are you in yet? No. We still got Charlie Blackmon at DH. We still got Mookie Betts and Juan Soto, because apparently winning this game is more important to the NL than putting in reserves. Look, we got more reserves for the AL. They're gonna let the fans play at this rate. NL. Who is the coach of the NL? Well, we're in the top of the 8th. So maybe if we play a little bit out, maybe we'll see some substitutions. Houston. Oh, okay. So we're playing in Minute Maid Park in Houston. Thanks for that, Moonberry. Okay, so we got a runner on. And look at this. Look who shows up now. Thank you. We got Babe Ruth pinch hitting in a 3-1 game. No one out in the 8th inning. I think he's pinch hitting for, who's he pinch hitting for? Left field, right field, center field. So he's pitch hitting for the short catcher. Yeah. Well, he started as a catcher, but I don't think they're going to put him in. Thank you, NL manager. Babe Ruth at the plate. 1 on, nobody out. A chance to tie the game. And he strikes out. He's saying, I did that because you made me sit all this time and you're not letting my teammates play. All right, let's see if they keep him in the game, though. Nope. Nope, they don't. They do not. So we don't need to watch the rest of this game. We'll finish off the entire game in a 3-3 score. Babe will not get another opportunity. And the NL would eventually win. And look at this. I apologize, NL manager. That's why you manage and I don't, because you are brilliant. You saved your reserves until the 8th inning and later. You went 12 innings and you knew you'd go 12 innings and you needed bench players. And it worked out for you. NL wins the All-Star game. Babe Ruth has one plate appearance and he would strike out. All right, let's go to the end of the month and then we'll sim ahead to September and then we'll finish things off. It's the Phillies manager for the NL All-Stars. Was it? Okay. That I can't rip into the manager too much because it ended up being the right strategy. But those first 8 innings, I was very critical. As an OOTP player, I was critical of the Philadelphia Phillies manager. Yeah, well, we'll have to check on that. I don't know if they had to use positional players. You know, if they would have left Babe in the game, he could have come in and pitched an inning or two. But no, we'll have him pitch hit for the catcher, which forces us to take him out of the game. And then when we go late, he can't pitch. All right, here we are at the end of July. And we're seeing more Babe in the picture now. Oh, on base percentage, WAR, on base plus slugging. He's in all the bottom categories. And the home run leader is now Mookie Betts. Mookie with the home run lead. Babe Ruth on fire. He's got the little fire symbol. He's heating up, guys. If you have high numbers, he's hitting 322, 449 OBP, 619 slugging percentage, and on the pace for 44 home runs. So he's picked it up a little bit. He went from 42 to 43 to 44. He's not breaking 70. He's not breaking 60. So he has been on a little bit of a streak. 2 home runs against the White Sox. And other than the White Sox and the Reds, that's his only multiple home run game this season. Let's see if we can go check out that All-Star Game box line. Schedule, go back a month. Yeah, I don't think it allows me to check that out. Not allowing me to click on anything here. I could probably find another way, but it went 12 innings. Maybe we had some positional players pitch. All right, we are going to sim up to the beginning of September now, and as that's playing out, oh, well, that'd be pretty cool. If it's still tied, they go to the best of 3 home run derby. Well, NL manager, if you would have left Babe in, you'd have a good candidate. All right, let's give you a few more facts here about the Babe and this day in history. Once again, we are playing the 1927 import of Babe Ruth. We're in 1927. He hit 60 home runs. That was a personal best. Many think that it was his best season. Others think that maybe his 1921 season was his best season, both of them with the Yankees. Most of his pitching was with the Boston team, so he didn't do a lot of pitching with the Yankees. In fact, let's see if we can go to the pitching stats here. Postseason pitching. So he did pitch a few games with the Yankees. He started one game in 20, and he started one game in 21. Also would pitch one game in 1930 and one game in 1933. As a 38-year-old, they brought him in. Maybe an injury situation. So that is the season we are playing. Of course, Babe Ruth was born in Baltimore. And in Baltimore, they do have the Babe Ruth Birthplace and Museum. So if you're ever in the Baltimore area, you can go and check that out. Just a few stats. Ruth was one of 17 players that Frazee traded or sold to the Yankees. So Boston had a nice pipeline, a nice flow of money for players between Boston and New York. And ultimately, 17 players would be traded or sold to the Yankees. So a lot of their championship teams built on Red Sox transactions. Finally would sell the team. So, but in a 5-year period, 17 players. On New York's first World Series title in 1923, half the regular players and 6 of the 7 pitchers were required from Boston. There you go. So Boston, you probably should celebrate that championship because you provided most of the talent. Now, this one I did not hear. I've never heard this quote. I don't room with Ruth. I room with his suitcase. Have you guys heard that before? I've never heard that. Apparently, it was attributed to Ruth gallivanting around late at night, going out, and either to Ping Bodie, his first roommate, or Jimmy Reese, who was his roommate later on, or to both of them, are attributed with that quote. I don't room with Ruth. I room with his suitcase. Ruth moved into first place on the career home run list in 1921, breaking Hall of Fame Roger Connor that had stood since 1895. So for 26 years, Roger Connor had the home run record that would be broken by Babe Ruth in 1921. Later broken by Hank Aaron in 1974. Ruth's record-setting home run came off Tigers reliever Bert Cole. And Hall of Fame historian Bill Jenkinson once estimated it to be the longest home run ever hit. Ruth hit the ball clear out of Navin Stadium, Tiger Stadium, to center field, a shot Jenkins estimates to have traveled 575 feet. Cubs fan Steve, if you still got the Google up, what is the current home run distance record? What do they recognize as the current home run records? Probably got to be a Barry Bonds shot, right? Or Mark McGwire. 575 feet. So apparently Ruth is credited with the 3 longest home runs ever hit and tied for 4th place. So yeah, if anyone has the stats there. And one more, the Baby Ruth candy bar, which we have a hard time finding in Canada. It's hard to find the Baby Ruth candy bar. I've tried it a couple of times, not a fan. I don't know if you guys like the Baby Ruth candy bar, but did you know the controversy around it? That officially the Baby Ruth candy bar is not named after Babe Ruth? Apparently, the Curtis Candy Company that created it in 1921, a peak Babe Ruth year, apparently they couldn't give credit because they'd have to pay for the use of Babe Ruth's name. So the candy company, the president, named it after the late daughter of Grover Cleveland. I'm not naming it after you, babe. No, no, no. I'm not trying to capitalize on your fame and success in 1921. It's named after baby Ruth, daughter of the former president. So, a legal ploy to allow Curtis to name the confection after Babe Ruth without requiring his permission. Most notably, Ruth Cleveland died in 1904 at the age of 12, 17 years before the candy bar was introduced. So, who knows? Who knows if it really was a tribute to the late daughter of the former president or it was a way to get around the system? McKinley? Was there another Ruth, or did this stat have it wrong? Is it not Grover Cleveland, and is it President McKinley's daughter? Gotta love capitalism. Gotta love capitalism. So there you go. A little bit of stats about the Baby Ruth candy bar, which still is out there today. Which company is on there? Because it doesn't say Curtis Candy Company, right? What did this turn into? Was this Nestle's or Hershey's? Curious what brand name is on the Baby Ruth candy bar. And I wonder if he ever did sue. Probably not, because how would you prove it? Ruth could be after anyone. Ferrara? It's probably why we don't see it in Canada, because Ferrara is not. Oh, it is Nestle? And Hero says he did sue. Okay, good on Babe. He did sue the company, but didn't win. I guess, yeah, how could you? Like, how could you prove it? If you say you named it after a president's daughter in memorial, it's just, the timing of it is really interesting. All right, let's get back and check out and finish off this episode with Babe back in Chicago. Let me take that off and bring back in the September 1st standings. Cubs fan Steve, your Cubs have a 4-game lead over the Cardinals. Babe has dropped off a little bit. Projected to hit 41 home runs, so he did not have a good August. He's still hitting 306, 597 slugging percentage, 6.6 WAR, but definitely the numbers have fallen off. Our home run leader in the league is Aaron Judge at 47. Looks like he will win it. He's got a 6-run home run lead over Alonso. Slugging percentage, WAR, WOBA, WPA, all Babe Ruth categories. And where is he on the leaderboard for home runs? He's got 34, and the bottom person has 37. So he might make the top 5. All right, let's sim to the beginning of October. Let's watch the standings. Chicago Cubs open up their lead to a 5-game lead. Alonso with the home run lead in the NL. Aaron Judge leading in the AL. Vlad Guerrero Jr., RBI leader. Cuna Jr., 41 stolen bases, but Ruiz has 69 stolen bases in the AL. Cubs open up a 6-7 game lead. They are going to, unless we have a miracle comeback, they are going to win the NL Central. And they have clinched. The Chicago Cubs are your NL Central champions. Go get your Babe Ruth jersey. Babe Ruth, third now in runs batted in. So it looks like he had a pretty good September. He's 110 for his runs batted in. So if you guessed 110 in the RBIs, you have a good shot. Third in batting average. First in on base plus slugging. And let's go to the playoffs. Before we look at Babe Ruth's final stats, we're going to take a look at the playoffs. Ooh, my Blue Jays are up against Seattle. I don't like that. They don't play against Seattle too well. Tampa against Los Angeles, Baltimore against the Twins. Remember, these are opening day rosters from this year's version of the game. No trades, so all the players have stayed intact as of April 1st. Dodgers and the Braves, that makes sense. Cubs, Mets, Brewers, and the Cubs, even though they won their division, they have to play the wild card. 88 and 74. Braves had 104 wins and the Dodgers 105 wins. So yeah, they're forced to play the wild card. And they're playing the team we saw them play in game 1. They're playing the Milwaukee Brewers. This is fantasy baseball. Yeah, I have to admit, I find it really strange that Tampa Bay is a wild card team. And Baltimore, yeah, I could see them winning the AL East. How close was the AL East? Not very close. And Angels won it fairly convincingly. The closest one was the Cubs versus the Brewers. All right, let's go and play out the wild card round. See how this finishes. Come on, Ruth. Come on. Lead your team. 1-1. Pivotal game 3. And yes, Babe Ruth's Cubs advance to the next round. The Jays win. Angels win. The Mets win. And the Cubs win. So look at this playoff tree. Go place your bets in Vegas now because the Angels and Orioles, Jays Twins, Dodgers Mets, and Cubs Braves. All right, Babe, come on. Come on. Can you take us to the next round? I think Babe absolutely made the difference. Can he do it against a strong Atlanta team, though? That is the question. Oh, they do. I believe this is the furthest Babe Ruth has advanced his team into the playoffs and the Toronto Blue Jays. I am hoping for the dream matchup, Toronto versus Chicago. Orioles win in 3, Jays win in 5, Dodgers win in 5, and the Cubs win in 4. Whew. Cubs fan Steve on the edge of his seat. Oh, I don't want to show you Babe yet because I don't I don't want to give you the final totals yet. We'll leave you in suspense. All right, let's go to the finals. I'm calling Orioles look like a team of destiny, and the Dodgers are too strong. I'm calling a Dodgers Orioles final. But we have the Babe factor. Anytime you have the Babe factor, you never know. Orioles, oh, we're going to a game 6. We're going to a game 7. Oh, yeah, I called it. There it is. Babe Ruth, 1 game short. Oh, 1 game short. In game 7, it wasn't close. 12-4. I don't mind that. Babe Ruth did his best. In the playoffs, Babe Ruth would be 222, so he didn't really carry his team. Only 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. Suzuki and Swanson were kind of the heroes of the playoffs for the Cubs. In the other series, the Baltimore Orioles would win game 6, 3-1. Only 9 hits in the game. Dodgers versus Orioles. All right, let's go game by game here. And Orioles again, they're the Cinderella team of destiny. They're up 1-0. Game 2, they're up 2-0. And they are up 3-0. They have a chance to win the World Series. Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers. He's 2-0 up against Kyle Gibson in game 4. Your 2023 World Series champs, Mr. Ree, popped the champagne. The Baltimore Orioles swept the Dodgers. They swept the Angels. The Jays gave them a run, and then they swept the Dodgers. 5-4, 4-3, 8-2, and 4-2 are your scores in the game. MVP Cedric Mullins is your World Series MVP. Congratulations. Look at these averages and totals. Mullins 340. Adley 314. Urias 386. 295 for Vavra. And McKenna 429. Wow. Mateo, you don't expect him to be the average guy. What do you have? He had 27 stolen bases. That's it. All right, so let us save this game so nothing crashes. And then we're going to sim ahead to the awards, and then we will look at our totals. So we are coming up on the last ad break here, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 2 minutes and show you the results and find out who has won Babe in the Matrix, Chicago Cubs style. See you in a couple minutes. We are back to finish off the show. We got about 10 minutes here. We are going to look at the award winners. We're going to look at the totals and find out who won this contest today. We're going to go back into the bounty tournament and find out how you guys are doing if you entered in that. And then we're going to go right into the Dr. Dynastic at the bottom of the hour. So at 1:30 my time, 12:30 Pacific time is when we will head over there. So let's check out the award winners. First of all, in the American League, your award winners in 2023, Ohtani wins the Most Valuable Player Award. That makes sense. Jacob deGrom, his 3rd Cy Young Award. We've got Anthony Volpe, the Rookie of the Year. And Mr. Duran is your Cy Young winner. Let's go take a look at the NL. Is the Babe MVP? He is. Babe Ruth, for the 3rd time in this series, is the most valuable player of the league. I believe he won it with Arizona and with the White Sox. Chicago treats him well. The Chicago Cub, Babe Ruth, is your National League MVP. 326, 452, 612, 40 home runs, and 8.3 WAR. Urias is your Cy Young winner with the Dodgers, going 19-5. Tovar, 317 average, your Rookie of the Year with Colorado. And A.J. Minter, his first Relief Pitcher of the Year award. So there are your award winners. Let's look at Babe's individual stats. And it looks like he did not re-sign. Oh, there he is. Maybe he did re-sign with Chicago. So he wins a batter of the month for May, selected to the All-Star game. We saw that. Batter of the month in September, Platinum Stick Award winner at left field, and most valuable player for the year. Contract. Did he re-sign? No, he has not re-signed yet. Here we have our final totals. If you've got the calculator ready, help me out here. Babe Ruth, 101 runs, 182 hits, 40 home runs, and 110 RBIs. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to take you directly to the good doctor, and it's been fun. Thanks for Tessuigi for joining in today. Thanks for the uniform creation. Check out his stream tomorrow. And tonight we've got Yuka, we've got TJ, we've got Dr. Dynastic, and who knows who else will pop on. So stay where you are. We're going over to Good Doctor in 30 seconds. A wonderful day. It is a great day for baseball. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others.